One of the most painful things in life is not failure. It is comparing yourself to someone else. We look at others and ask ourselves, why is she so successful and I'm not? Why does he have everything and I have nothing? Why does their life look so perfect while mine feels so slow? But we forget one truth. Their journey is not your journey. Their struggles are not your struggles. Their timing is not your timing, and their destiny is not your destiny. If a fish spends its whole life trying to fly like a bird, it will never realize that it was born to rule the ocean. And if a bird spends its life trying to swim like a fish, it will forget that it was created to touch the sky. Today's story is not just a story. It's a reminder, and maybe it will change the way you see yourself forever. In a small village surrounded by mountains and forests lived a boy named Ethan. Ethan was not lazy. He was not weak. He was not useless. He had dreams, hopes, and a good heart. But he had one habit that slowly destroyed his happiness. He always compared himself with others. When he saw his friend Liam getting the highest marks, his heart whispered, I will never be as smart as him. When he saw his neighbor Ryan driving expensive cars, his mind said, I will never be rich like him. When he saw someone speaking confidently, someone singing beautifully, or someone running faster than him, he thought, why am I not like them? Why am I always behind? Day by day, these thoughts became heavier than his dreams. His confidence started fading. His smile started disappearing. His dreams started feeling impossible. He stopped believing in himself. He stopped enjoying life. And one night, sitting alone in silence, he whispered, maybe I am not good enough. Maybe I was not meant to be successful. One evening, a wise old man came to the village. People called him Grandpa Joe. Ethan gathered courage and said, Grandpa, I try my best, but when I see others doing better than me, I feel small, I feel useless, I feel lost. No matter how hard I work, it feels like I will never reach where they are. Grandpa Joe looked at him calmly and said, Come with me tomorrow morning. I will not give you advice. I will show you the answer. The next morning, they stood in front of the oldest forest in the village. Grandpa Joe asked, Tell me, what do you see? Ethan replied, I see many trees. Some are tall, some are short, some have fruits, some don't. Some look strong, some look simple. Grandpa Joe smiled and said, Imagine if the apple tree cried because it is not as tall as the coconut tree, or the coconut tree felt sad because it cannot give sweet fruits like apples. Imagine if every tree wanted to become another tree. Ethan laughed and said, That would be ridiculous, Grandpa. Grandpa Joe looked into his eyes and said softly, Then why do you cry for not being someone else? Ethan was silent. Grandpa Joe continued, This forest is beautiful because every tree is different. If all trees were the same, this forest would be lifeless. Every tree has its own role. Every tree has its own value, and no tree is useless. Then they walked to a river. A fish was swimming in the water, and a bird was flying in the sky. Grandpa Joe asked, Tell me, what will happen if the fish tries to fly like the bird? Ethan said, It will die, Grandpa. Grandpa Joe nodded and said, And what if the bird tries to swim like the fish? Ethan replied, It will drown. Grandpa Joe placed his hand on Ethan's shoulder and said, Listen carefully, my boy. You are not made to live someone else's life. You are not born to run in someone else's race. You are made to live your own life, to walk on your own path, and to create your own story. Comparing yourself to others is like asking a fish to fly. You will never feel successful, even if you are extraordinary in your own way. The moment you stop comparing yourself, you will start discovering who you really are. That day, something broke inside Ethan, but it was not his heart. It was his doubt. It was his fear. It was his habit of seeing himself as less than others. He realized, I am not behind. I am not weak. I am not useless. I am just on a different path. And my path does not need to look like anyone else's. From that day, he stopped asking, why am I not like them? Instead, he started asking, what am I good at? What makes me different? What is my strength? He focused on his strengths. He worked on his dreams. He stopped running in someone else's race and started building his own journey. Some days were still hard. Some days he felt tired. Some days he felt slow. But this time, he did not quit. Because now he knew that progress is not about speed, it is about direction. Years passed. The same boy who once felt useless became the most inspiring person in the village. He built his own business. He created his own identity. He wrote his own story. One day someone asked him, how did you become so successful? Ethan smiled and said, the day I stopped comparing myself with others, I finally started winning in my own life. Remember this, the sun and the moon never shine at the same time, but both are equally important. The flower does not compete with the flower next to it. It just blooms in its own time. You don't need to be someone else to be successful. You just need to be yourself. Because a fish that focuses on swimming doesn't just survive. It rules the entire ocean. So stop doubting yourself. Stop measuring your life with someone else's scale. Stop thinking you are late. You are not late. You are just on your own timeline. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who feels lost today. And remember, your journey is unique. Your time will come. Your story is not over yet. And maybe this story isn't really about Ethan. Maybe it's about you. Maybe you've been running in someone else's race. Maybe you've been doubting your pace. Maybe you've been quietly asking yourself, am I falling behind? If today you decide to stop comparing, to stop rushing, and to start honoring your own path, type my time in the comments. And if you want more stories that remind you who you are beneath the noise, like this video and subscribe. Because sometimes all it takes is one story to change the way you see your life. Your journey is unique. Your time will come. And your story is just beginning.